Hello world, I am Joffey Joe, and this is the show, Call It How I See It. And on today's episode, I got a couple of teams I want to talk to you all about. First and foremost, I got Glenn, I got John Carlo in the house, and we are here to recap last week's matchup of the Commanders and Steelers as it transitions into the Commanders and Eagles matchup tonight. Yes, we got some Steegles talk for y'all, and we're also going to preview the Ravens and Steelers matchup with that, so you don't want to miss out on that. Secondly, I got John Carlo doing double duty because we have a big pay-per-view coming up for the UFC, 309, where Jon Jones makes his return to fight Stipe Miocic. Yes, it's going to be a great fight, and you don't want to miss out on what we have to say about that. Thirdly, we have another fight before that happening. It's going to be an action-packed weekend. That's why we had to drop a lot for this episode. But for the third take, I have Carlitos. Yes, my boy Carlitos is here, and we're here to finally wrap up the clown show that is the Tyson and Jake Paul fight. So we're going to preview that for you. Yes, you don't want to miss out. And fourth, you don't want to miss out on a new guest appearance from a new show member. He goes by the name of Kenny Blake. Yes, he is a sport handicapper. Yes, we have some picks. I have Kenny's picks. It's going to be the debut segment of Kenny's picks, and you don't want to miss out because my man, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He does the research. He gets these picks, and he be hitting. So for all y'all betting fans out there, definitely want to take some notes from my boy Kenny. So you don't want to miss out on this action-packed episode. Gentlemen, welcome back. I'm glad to have you all on. How you guys doing? I'll start with you, G. How you doing?
You know, Joffey calls this time to call it how I see it. Let's get it. Feeling good.
Let's do it. How you feeling, JC? How you doing tonight?
Feeling good. Ready to go.
Right.
Tomorrow be a big night, so I'm ready.
Yes, and we're gonna be here to talk about it. So let's get into it. But since tomorrow is the Eagles and Commanders, I wanted to talk about the Commanders' previous matchup with the Steelers, and who else better to talk about that with than our boy Glenn Pratt. So, G. I want to do a little quick recap about what you saw last week with the Commanders, as it was a really good game.
Guys, the bullet got lucky. People would say we got a little generosity from the refs.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. The human element is part of the game. I wish it was done right. I think it was a little short.
I think it was always short. Jay, we need to chime in on this because how many times with the Eagles have we seen Zach Ertz on that catch come up short?
Yeah, they almost screwed us in the Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
I know. That time we got lucky. That time we caught a little bit of a break. We caught the right side of the sticks on that side. But, like, most of the time, dude, I can at least name, like, 2 or 3 other times where Zach Ertz has come up short on a 3rd or 4th down throw. And
he doesn't like to make that extra effort to reach.
That's what I'm saying. He's just, like, not that tight end that's going to do that. Yeah, you'll catch the ball. You're a receiving tight end. But when it comes down to being physical and getting that extra yard, you're never worth that guy. And I understand he's later in his career right now. But, like, he's just never been that guy. So.
There's so many times, how many times you see receivers, whether it be tight ends, or just don't get past the marker. I mean,
it's the awareness.
Just crazy how close. Isn't it insane how close they are sometimes? You're thinking, damn, you know where you got to get past it. Sometimes you see a quarterback throw to a guy who has no shot at getting. I guess he could break a tackle or something. But you got to throw it past where you got to get to.
Yeah,
it drives me crazy, man.
The Kirk Cousins, Sam Bradford checkdowns.
Man. I mean, Washington's a good team.
Yes.
Jake Daniels is a player. I mean, Steelers probably hold him to his lowest completion percentage. I think it was like 50%.
Yeah,
I mean, that had to do a lot with the defense.
Right.
I mean, Watt didn't have a great statistical game, but he was definitely disruptive. He was back there. They had a lot of Hayward came up big.
Right.
Highsmith, they all definitely changed the way he played. He had a little struggle, but I think he's struggled a little bit here and there. But he's still a playmaker.
Oh, for
and
sure.
That's for sure. Wilson played okay. He only had he was a 50% game. Had a touchdown. The touchdowns were crucial. He was dropping dimes. He made throws when he had to. So that alone gave us a big boost. And like I said, people question Wilson or Fields. Watch the game. Just watch the passing game. I mean, it's so blatant and clear that the move needed to be made. Now going forward, playing Baltimore, that's going to be something. They're a little vulnerable against the pass, but we know what their offense can be. And it's going to be a test. These games are always a battle. It's in Pittsburgh, so we seem to play better at home in these divisional matchups. So it's going to be interesting for sure.
No, for sure, definitely. I mean, like you said, like we were talking about a little bit before we started up tonight, like, you know, the division. This is like the gauntlet for you guys. Like, you know, like it's unusual to see a team play division rivals or division teams this late in the season. So, like, the Pittsburgh, it's kind of like, you know, it's why did it have to be Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? Especially with this type of division. But, I mean, this is where this team is really going to be, like, who they really are and who they really need to be moving forward, especially coming into the playoffs and November football and December football. This is a different type of football now. Things get more serious and the levels and gears start shifting and everything. So, we're definitely going to keep an eye on these Steelers moving forward, Jay.
Absolutely. See where we stand. Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. Gauntlet, baby. Yeah. Where you stand.
Right.
Where you stand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting.
No, for sure. And then, like, you know, Mike Tomlin and everything, he'll get put under light for things like that. I do want to jump into something that he did do that was a little fishy or a little questionable. I guess the fake punt that ran. How did you feel about that?
Because it wasn't executed.
Yeah.
We definitely, you can say, but it was there, man. I don't know what else to say. When someone's not covering, it was just so there.
Yeah.
Please, I mean, it wasn't a difficult catch to make. Come on, man. Granted, you should have punted the ball. I'm with you. I totally feel you. But if you see it, take advantage of it. And they just couldn't execute, man. It's
at the end of the day, it's about execution, and that was a big spot for him. And that punter was probably waiting to throw that. That guy was probably waiting for his whole career to make that type of throw, and it was his opportunity, and he dropped it. Brutal.
Definitely was against the grain. Don't get me wrong. I know people, punt there in your own territory. Yeah. Doesn't seem definitely rolling the dice, but it was there, man. Come on, man, make the catch. Come on.
Brutal, and I mean, it led to the Commanders getting a scoring drive out of it too, and making the game a little closer. So that is something to consider. But like you said, G, if it's there, do it, bro. Why not?
Man, they saw it. It was there. I mean, that's homework. Dude, if it was there,
yeah.
Nobody. Come on, man.
Yes.
Fire. Whatever they got to call, man, it's there. Catch the ball, man. Come on.
Gotta execute. Execution is key.
Man.
Yes. So I do want to switch over now to the game that we're coming up with, and we have a great banger, another game where Amazon might have finally started getting things right with their Thursday night football schedule. So like now, tomorrow night, we have another division game, including the Eagles and the Washington Commanders. So I wanted to dive into it since this basically is for the division as of right now. We're in week 11. Things are getting tight. November football. It's different football. So things are getting colder. And tomorrow night's going to be a nice atmosphere in Philly. I wish me and JC could make the game, but, there'll be a time and place for things. But, JC, I want to dive into what you might think about coming into tomorrow night playing the Commanders.
It's going to be a very tense division game. Yes. I'll tell you that much right now.
I agree.
Washington showed a little bit of weakness against the Steelers. I think their secondary can be had.
Yes, I agree.
Secondary can be had. But at the same time, Pittsburgh did get a little bit of pressure on Jaden Daniels, so that means our guys have to get home.
Yes.
Offensively, I'm not going to lie. I'm not that concerned.
I know. Yeah.
Because we're clicking right. Because everything's clicking correctly kind of right now. Right. Even last week against Dallas, Saquon didn't have the greatest game.
Right.
He was still effective.
Right.
And, getting Dallas Goedert more involved now. Mm-hmm. But I'm hoping this is the Jahan Dotson revenge game. I'm not going to lie.
Yes, I hope so too.
He gave up a third-round pick.
Yeah.
Show him it's time for Jahan to show him what's up.
No, I agree. I mean, he had that catch against Jacksonville last week, which was a crazy, tremendous catch that, not many people in this league can make. But, it just shows the cases, the talent that Jahan Dotson has. And then, I'm just trying to wonder in this Sirianni, Kellen Moore offense, why is there not a third receiver involved? Why is it, it's just so many whys, but it's also, a repetitive notion to what it's been the last couple of years with Sirianni at the helm. And, I don't know. They don't want to throw the ball to the slot receivers. I don't know. But it's part of the thing. But I would love to see Jahan Dotson really stick it to the Commanders, especially the way they kind of let him go and had his role on the team taken away and everything. It would be a good story. So I'm definitely crossing my fingers for that type of outcome. So.
Yeah, this would be entertaining, man, for sure. You always used to, back in the day, love NFC East matchups. No matter who played who, always thought they were good games. So looks like the rivalry and with Washington been getting better, Eagles being where they are. Giants and Dallas are what they are, but Eagles and Washington could have a nice little battle going on for the next few years. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, Washington's definitely become a hot spot now for teams to players and everything alike to they become an attraction to for people to come up to and join because just because of the success factor. I mean, you have a new fresh start, new ownership, and they're kind of doing it the right way. I won't lie. So, with Dan Quinn there, Cliff Kingsbury, they got people that've been around the league too that know how to do things and operate and conduct a team and have a complete organization away from what they had with Dan Snyder. So I have to give the Commanders some credit. I didn't think they were going to be good yet, honestly. I didn't think they were going to be this good so fast, but they definitely showed a lot of growth. For sure, dude. I have to give them credit for that. So we'll have to see how things turn out though. A team like this, they're young, so now we'll see how battle tested they are because most of the Eagles core has been around. They've been through scenarios and stuff and playoff runs. So we're gonna see what it really takes for a young team to match up with the Eagles and see where they're really at. Even though there's new pieces in and out on both teams, but I'm ready for this matchup. I'm excited. I mean, the division's on the line. I definitely think we'll see who really prevails tomorrow. So, but even that, we'll still play them again later in the year. So things could still piece out differently. But the NFC is tough. The NFC is tough this year. The East is tough. There's a lot going on. Just between us two, and obviously like you said, G, the Giants and Cowboys, they don't matter right now. So
not right now. They're irrelevant at this point.
No, for sure. But we'll definitely keep an eye on things. I definitely think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's the type of game Al Michaels even might enjoy watching.
So right.
See, that's a problem.
But we'll definitely see what happens. But guys, I appreciate you guys coming on, running some game, running some football with us.
Always.
always nice to call it how I see it.
Yo, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for coming on, and good luck to both of our teams.
No doubt. Till next time, Joffey. Be safe, JC.
You too,
All right,
man.
now. Talk to you guys later.
All right, guys. And here we go. We're back. What up, JC? How you doing, my man?
Living good today, brother. Can't complain.
Yes.
Can't complain.
I know you'll be living good this weekend, as you iterated a couple weeks ago. We have a big pay-per-view coming up, as, the GOAT, Jon Jones, fights Stipe this weekend on Saturdays for UFC 309. I definitely want to get your expertise and see what you got to think about this pay-per-view coming up, including the undercard, but, I'll let you run through that. So what you think?
A quick couple fights I want to go over. Chris Weidman returning to the octagon. Always great to see him back. Mm-hmm. Win or lose, he's still a legend of the sport.
Yeah.
He doesn't have too many fights left in his career, but it's good to see him in there.
Right.
All right. On the main card, Bo Nickel. Love the way the guy's coming up through the ranks in the middleweight division. Couple more wins. Who knows how far away from a championship shot he can be. The minus 1,300 favorite against Paul Craig, who's also no slouch.
Right.
Then, moving along, we have the Conor McGregor chasing Michael Chandler, fighting Bronx Charles Oliveira. I'm looking forward to this rematch to see if the time off has given Chandler an opportunity, besides watching Conor and chasing him, to see if there's anything he could have improved on from the first fight to maybe take this one.
Right.
I mean, in my solid opinion, I think Oliveira beats him again, just simply due to activity.
Right.
Chandler's been out of the octagon since going on 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
And his last fight was a loss. It was a loss to Dustin Poirier. Another guy that's, Dustin's very good, but, you don't sit out there waiting for that apple.
No, I hear
temptation.
You. No, for sure. It ain't going to fall out the tree for you either.
Because who knows? And he hasn't given up on that dream either, which is concerning, because I'm like, you have to move on with your career at some point. You're not a young man anymore.
Right.
Go belt chasing. If the cash grab is there, take it. But if not, you can't harp on it anymore. No. You got to go strap chasing, not bag chasing.
No, for sure. I mean, dude, he's going to keep waiting for him anyway. He's not going to ever step up. I don't think those two will ever fight, just because of everything going on around Conor and then this guy too. So I don't see it happening.
I also feel like if Conor steps back in the ring, I feel like he's going to chase somebody with something.
Yeah, something going on for him. That's kind of why I felt like this fight didn't happen. He's like, what the hell am I fighting?
I can easily see him going after like a Holloway, who still has the BMF belt.
Right. Yeah, that might be an intriguing fight to many people.
His grudge with Poirier. Maybe he wants to, 0-3. I don't see a reason for Poirier to take it. But.
Yeah, I mean, other than the cash, right?
No, so realistically, when Conor McGregor, whenever, if ever he returns, I see him going after Max Holloway or moving up to middleweight, attempting to challenge for that belt.
I think the Holloway fight would be a good, interesting fight, just because the BMF belt and everything involved. I don't know if they would throw that on the line like that, but it would be an interesting fight. So
that's the only belt Conor should be eligible for at this point.
I think so. I think you're very right about that, JC. I think that's the only thing he could ever where he's at in his career and everything that's going on. I think that would be the only intriguing type of thing that could bring a lot of his ass with hardware on the line.
Yes, that's it.
So,
but on to the main event.
Yes, let's get into it.
The GOAT returns after a year and a half. Been a long year and a half. This fight was supposed to happen last year.
I know.
He tore his pec in training, but now we get the fight. But let's harp on something real quick. Let's take a look.
Let's do it.
Jon Jones has been out of the ring for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Stipe's been out of the ring for 3 years. And his last fight was he got knocked out by Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
Maybe that 3 years freshened him up, but at the same time, GOATs do what GOATs do. I expect Jon to get the job done.
No, for sure.
He took 3 years off and moved up a weight class, and his last fight did not last 3 minutes.
He's just a lethal weapon that is Jon Jones.
But the matchup is very intriguing, though, because Stipe is no slouch wrestling.
Yeah, that's the thing. But, I mean, that's where, strength almost kind of fights strength, or one of his strengths.
But like I said, three years out of the game, what do you have left?
That's crazy. Didn't he become, a firefighter?
Full time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Full time.
I mean, just, the step away from the octagon and then, taking on responsibilities like that. I mean, I'm sure he's still been training here and there, but to, step back in and fight, the GOAT, you're putting yourself out there, really.
No, let's face it. Stipe is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
Right, there's no denying that.
One of the most accomplished. There's no denying that.
Right.
But going against somebody that's known as the greatest fighter of all time.
There's a different level to this.
Steroids are not. Everybody at one point, I believe, in the UFC was doing it.
Yeah, I think so. I think Dana was giving them out like candy, just like Vince McMahon was.
1 point. So people criticize Jon for taking the steroids, and rightfully so. You can't pass the test. You can't pass the test.
Right. I mean, he's been, he's been a wreck when it comes to testing anyway. But this is,
he hides under octagons. He tries to intimidate the USADA people. Cool, but guess what? He still goes in there and gets the job done.
Right.
Another thing to take note of: the 12-6 elbow rule has been abolished, and that is his only no contest in his career.
Right.
So I know he's looking. No, he has two. He has two.
Okay.
That's one of the blemishes in his career.
Right.
Now that it's legal, one, I know he's going to try to get that removed.
Right.
Two, I think he's going to use it.
Of course, he would definitely use it to his advantage.
If he gets Stipe down, look for the 12-6 right away.
And the fight right there.
Yeah, but it's good to see Jon Jones back in the octagon. When he's back in the octagon, it's great things for the UFC.
Oh, for sure, especially since they're doing it big. They're throwing it in NYC and everything. Dana knows the type of platform that needed to be set for this type of fight, and he's setting it up for him.
I like the fact that it's in New York, but I don't like the fact that it's in New York because those refs are almost as blind as the ones that were watching the Eagles game last week.
Oh, man.
And it sucks. They have too many regulations still. They're still new to the sport, so hopefully it's not in their hands and, one way or another. Stipe has a puncher's chance, and you can't write him off.
Okay.
I just do not believe anybody can overcome the GOAT.
Until we see it happen, right? I mean, like, we can't...
It's been tested quite a few times.
Yes, it's been tested, but nothing too successful at the end of the results.
No, I think, to me, the closest person to ever to beating him was a guy, Alexander Gustafsson.
Yes, I remember that fight.
I believe the first fight, not the second one.
Yeah, the second
one
he handled him.
The first fight's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So that was one of the closest, I believe. And people think he lost his last fight at 205 to Dominic Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's still questionable.
It was razor thin.
Yeah.
But the sportsbook told me I won, so I just took it and ran.
Of course, just like everybody else.
Took it and ran, but all in all, when Jon Jones is back, the UFC is great.
Oh no, for sure, it's definitely what the UFC needs. They need that superstar power. I mean, like, we were talking about in the other episode, they're like been leaning on Pereira, but this type of fight to end the type of year, this is huge. So like.
Well, that's the name that he wants next.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. That fight's gonna even be like take the UFC to new levels.
Unfortunately for Tom Aspinall, he's gonna have to take a backseat to that paycheck. Because if Jones wins, which I'm expecting, he's going to call Pereira out.
Yeah.
That is the fight that people want to see, in my opinion.
Right.
Aspinall's good. Great.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. He's the interim champ. But if Alex Pereira, 3-time belt defender in 175 days, if he answers the call, Tom got to take a back seat. I ain't doing it.
It's more than just the heavyweight title. It's going to be really who's the best pound per pound fighter. And that's what's most important in the sport compared to the belt.
You did see, John said this week he would vacate the title to fight Pereira.
I know.
If that's what it meant.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just the magnitude of that fight.
Right.
That's what means more.
For legacy.
Yeah, exactly. That belt doesn't really mean much to him anymore. It's just another piece of hardware in his trophy case. But like, to be the exactly. But to like take the time off and then come back and fight Pereira for the pound for pound best fighter in the world, that's the icing on the cake to everything. And I can definitely see him.
My honest belief in that fight, styles make matchups. I'm not a big fan of Pereira in that fight just for the wrestling.
I don't think so.
But who's hotter right now? Alex Pereira, in my opinion, is fighter of the year.
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm saying. He is definitely the best pound for pound fighter right now.
Slightly give him the edge for fighter of the year over Ilia Topuria because of what he's done.
Yeah, you can't knock that too, especially his last pay-per-view.
But the fight I want to see, put my name in the hat. You give me Jones Pereira, I'm in.
So after this settles and thus, everything settles in, you think how long until a fight like that happens? You think like a couple months?
I think you can see a fight like that happening at Fight Week.
At Fight Week, you think?
At Fight Week. I believe International Fight Week.
Okay.
Because that's one of the biggest cards of the year.
Yeah.
Holloway said he wants to come back already.
Right.
That's when he wants to come back. So imagine a Max Holloway co-main event with a Jones Pereira.
Oh, dude, that would...
I might actually go take a flight. You kind of have to.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's a spectacle.
You don't have to threaten me with Vegas, ever. You don't ever have to threaten me with Vegas.
Dude, that could be a spectacle, too. So, like...
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be in the sphere, so it might be cost-friendly for once. But... I think that would be the time to make it.
No, I would sell out.
Every fight fan in the world.
I would sell out.
The opportunity.
It would sell out immediately. Like, no questions about it.
Like UFC Hall of Fame and International Fight Week. You got Jones Pereira? Please.
It would take everything on the top, for sure.
Everything. Yeah, for real.
So, but I was going to say...
One step at a time. Saturday it is.
Saturday's the first thing. And I want to know, wrap this thing up here real quick. What do you think? Like, what is your final prediction for this fight here?
I don't see it going all 5.
Oh, wow.
I don't. First of all, they're heavyweights.
Right. I know.
Second of all, I don't even know if John's going to knock him out. I could see him submitting him.
Yeah.
You saw what he did to Cyril Gane, but like if Stipe wins, he has to knock him out.
That's the only chance.
That's his shot because he has the power edge.
Right.
But John just has everything else. He'll kick you to death.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He'll give himself some space if he feels like the striking aspect from Stipe might get a little too close to him. So like he'll give, like we know where John is in terms of like, where he knows his spacing in terms of where he's at in the octagon and stuff like that.
Another thing is, if he doesn't like where he's at in the fight, he's going to use those teep kicks and hyperextend Stipe's legs to where he can't really move.
Yeah, exactly. He'll chop that tree. He'll chop that tree right down.
A couple years ago, he fought a guy, Thiago Santos.
Yes.
he kicked him to death. He had to have double knee surgery after that fight, and he has not been the same fighter since.
I know that can definitely mess someone up.
And he's not even with the organization anymore. So it just shows you. It doesn't matter the time, the length of absence. It doesn't matter.
He has
go things.
That's what I'm saying. He has so many different ways to win this fight. So it's just like he has one thing doesn't work, another thing might pop up, or even this thing might pop up. So like you got to really be careful. He's a dangerous person. He's the ultimate lethal weapon.
He's a bad man. I mean, it's a shame that this card might be overshadowed by the Jake Paul Mike Tyson.
We'll be talking about that on the show too.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, well, I guess that's why they're put on different days. But in terms of everything involved, though, it is a big week for fighting, and then that's why we're talking about it on the show. So
yeah, 100%.
But JC, I appreciate you coming on and dropping your UFC knowledge. I really do.
Thank you for letting me have the floor. It was always a pleasure.
Absolutely, I appreciate it, my friend.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, peace. Well, look who we have here. Look who came back on Call It How I See It. What up, Carlitos?
Hey, what's up, Joffey? It's good.
Chilling, man. So, Carlitos, we have this circus affair going on, and it's going to finally happen. After planning to have this fight in July 20th, this fight is finally happening in AT&T Stadium this Friday, which is weird to have a fight, but it's happening. And the world is going to watch Jake Paul fight Mike Tyson for a heavyweight bout that's still kind of unorganized and everything involved, but it's going to happen because a lot of money's involved here. That's really what the case is. But what happens when money happens, what happens sometimes when money's involved, things get sloppy and everything gets thrown here at once. And from what I view from the outside, I see this fight just being a fan fight that's about to happen. But some people in the fighting world think that this actually might be a real fight, not just an exhibition. But that's why I have you here, Carlitos. So what do you think about this fight coming up on Friday?
Joffey, I'm not even sure, to be honest. I haven't really been in tune into this fight because I wasn't even asking for this fight. I don't even think anyone was even asking for this fight, to be honest. It's like, come on. Jake Paul is just fighting washed out people, or just not even real. I won't say real fighters, but boxers. I mean, Mike Tyson's a boxer. I mean,
but he old
fighter. He's a legend. I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah, exactly. This is almost like a celebrity boxing match, almost.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at here they're doing 14-ounce gloves instead of 10 ounces. Instead of 3-minute rounds, they're doing 2-minute rounds. 10 or 12 rounds, I'm not sure.
I think it's 10.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Everybody's hoping for Mike Tyson to go knock that boy out. But I don't think so. I'm going for Jake Paul. You just got to beat him. I wouldn't want to see Mike Tyson get knocked out, but I wouldn't be surprised he's been knocked out before or knocked down before, even dropped, hurt.
Yeah.
When Mike Tyson gets dropped, it's not it's an ugly. It's ugly. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those. He's in his stool just giving up. No, it's ugly. He's spitting out stuff. They're just like some type of I don't know.
It ain't a pretty sight, that's for sure.
Not pretty. So I'm going for Jake Paul, man. Well, it's free on Netflix. I looked it up in the morning. I mean, last night I looked it up. Pretty sure it's free if you subscribe or whatever, Netflix. So of course I'm gonna tune in. Friday night, hey, I'll take it. I'll watch it.
It is gonna be something to watch on Friday night. I definitely think it will get a lot of viewership, even with UFC having their big pay-per-view on Saturday with Jon Jones and Stipe. That's a big fight in the UFC world. But
oh yeah, I heard about that.
So it's have this come before that, especially with Jake Paul beefing with Dana White and everything. So having this all in one weekend, it is good for I mean, it's not good for boxing. It's good for fighting and combat sports in a sense, just because it's bringing light to that world. But this type of circus act, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think AT&T Stadium is going to fill up 100,000 people for this fight. I don't think so, unless they, give some tickets off the street to people. But, I mean, for a Netflix event, because Netflix, what they're trying to do, man, they're really trying to get in the sports world. They got WWE, and they're using boxing and stuff, so they're using combat sports to dip their toe into the sports world, which is a smart thing to do because people will pay for it. But at the end of the day, I think that where they have an advantage over Amazon in a situation like this, where Amazon's trying to showcase a Canelo fight and they're still charging people $90, and where Netflix is just allowing people to catch this fight just because of their subscription base. It's definitely, I think that puts them in an advantage, and then I think this can also help them, propel them into the sports world. I guess I just see what I see here is I see Netflix kind of fighting Amazon, trying to catch up. And they're using these two as tools and puppets to do it. So it's going to be interesting. Like you said, it's not, it's definitely an exhibition fight. It's not anything serious. Mike Tyson hasn't fought a professional bout since I think 2005 or 2006. And, it's definitely a different world now. Jake Paul is definitely trying to take advantage of Mike Tyson's light and, trying to make a little bit of a show of things here. But at the end of the day, Carlitos, I think we all can agree that we think that the younger man will show up and win the fight. I mean, dude, if he could, I mean, what I expect to happen, I think Mike's gonna try and beat Iron Mike Tyson 40 years ago and try to knock this guy out in his first two rounds and just end up punching himself tired. I don't know his stamina, but I mean, for a 56-year-old man, I don't like my chances. I wouldn't bet on him. I wouldn't take that. But I know there's some people crazy enough out there that would invest their money into Mike Tyson like it's 1988, and it's not really the best idea to do. But we'll see how things go. But go ahead.
Yeah, just it's like whatever. But I'm looking at it. The undercard looks like it's pretty good. And they have Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Okay. I seen the first fight, so this is the second one. So it's a slugfest. These two girls, they're monsters. When they first fought, they're both undefeated and are fighting for undisputed. And of course, Katie Taylor, she won.
Right.
There was some concept. What do you call it?
Controversy.
Yeah, that word. Yeah, whatever. I'm a little slurred, but
it's okay.
Yeah, but that thing. But it was a good fight. It was like a nonstop slugfest. So the undercard should be good. Those two girls are fighting.
Serrano's under Jake Paul's promotions, right?
Yeah, Jake Paul. Ever since Jake Paul came up, he's been putting this girl every fight. Amanda's just some Puerto Rican over there at the Bronx and some shit like that.
Yeah, so they've definitely made a deal for him and her.
And then they got Mario Barrios, the guy that fought Tank and
Yeah, I know about him.
Like that, but
he got knocked out, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Mario Barrios, but I like the Katie Taylor Amanda. That fight is going to be good.
Yeah,
that's going to be action packed.
No, for sure. It seems like Paul definitely linked up with her, and his MVP Promotions is definitely trying to grab some fighters now and stuff, which is it can help those fighters in that aspect and stuff. But we'll see how things turn out. I didn't get to see most of the first fight with those two girls. I mean, I know that, like you said, it was a slugfest from what I saw in the highlights, and for them to step in the ring again, it definitely is a good undercard fight for that. And when it comes to this fight, Carlitos, I don't even know when the hell it's starting, bro. It just says on Netflix on Friday. It doesn't give you a time. It doesn't say anything. It's that's what I'm saying. The organization factor to this, it just feels like it's all crammed in our face and here, watch it. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
It probably starts at 8. I'm looking at it right now. It says it will begin at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay, so that means 8 o'clock.
The main card will begin at 7 p.m. Central on Netflix. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul expected to make their ring walks approximately
11 o'clock. Okay, 10 p.m. That's what I'm saying too, man. Mike Tyson, I don't know if he'd be staying up like that. Yeah. Fucking old man. But we'll see. I mean, I appreciate you telling me that because honestly I had no idea when the hell it was going to start.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
But it makes sense. I mean, if they're fighting in AT&T Stadium in Texas, I would definitely imagine they're going to base it off of Central Time, which on the East Coast is an hour behind and stuff. So, but we'll keep an eye on this, Carlitos. Maybe we'll talk about this if it's worth talking about next week or something.
Yeah, obviously.
So it's a wait and see type of fight. But we can finally bury the hatchet with this fight and not have to
I mean, after this fight, man, Jake Paul, I'm hearing Jake Paul trying to fight a freaking champion, trying to get a title fight. Come on. After this fight a legit boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he fought, Tyson Fury, brother, but, he doesn't really count.
No, he's not.
If you want to get a title, you got to fight at least 2 legit contenders.
Yeah, I know, exactly. He thinks his money is going to propel him and his promotion company can propel him to, getting that type of fight. Yeah, given you could probably, get that fight later and make a good promoted rise, with the money involved. But right now, your talent level isn't where it needs to be to fight a champion. You'd almost be setting yourself for failure. So I don't know why you would want to do that so fast. I can see that happening, Carlitos, and he'd be like, I'm done with boxing. Let me try something else. So, if that was to happen in that type of light, which he's trying to force and make happen, which isn't the natural way and the most recognizable way in that sport to go and fight a champion. So we'll see what happens. But Carlitos, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on and dropping your boxing knowledge for us.
Thank you, Joe. I love being into the show. It's your boy, Carlitos World TV. Make sure you guys subscribe, follow How You See It channel, and also my channel, Carlitos World TV. All right, peace. Love y'all.
Peace. Thank you again, my friend. All right, here we go. And look who we have on the show. I have a brand new guest that goes by the name Kenny Blake. What's going on, Kenny? How you doing, bro?
Okay, hi. How you doing, Joe? Thank you for having me today on the podcast.
Absolutely. I brought you here because you have some expertise, Kenny. You be hitting these parlays. You gave me a good bet yesterday. You took the Dolphins +6. I was like, okay, let me see what he's got, and boom, it hit. So I was like, okay, now I feel like I can have Kenny on the show and drop some of his picks. So we're gonna have this whole segment for you, Kenny. We're just gonna let you drop your picks, and you're gonna tell the world who's really worth betting on. So go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. For Thursday, it's going to be a good game. Philly versus the Commanders in Philly. Both teams is looking good, despite the Commanders losing last week to the Steelers.
Yes.
But as of right now, I just did some research that the Eagles is on a five games winning streak. So I think the Commanders are going to upset them by 3 or probably 6 points. So I think I think the Commanders going to leave the Eagles with a loss. I think they're going to walk back into the Commanders with a W by six or less.
Okay, so you got the spread being 6.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a dogfight battle with the Commanders and Eagles. They got a good defense, a good quarterback with Daniels, and
yes.
I'm excited with what Barkley going to do with a division game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a good game. I'm really excited for that game on Thursday night, and
yes.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to be ready for your prediction and see what happens because I'm not. We'll see what happens. I'm not rooting with it, but we'll see what happens. You might be right though.
Okay, for my second one, it's Buffalo. I'm sorry. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Baltimore.
Okay.
It's gonna be in Pittsburgh. So I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
There you go.
So I'm really nervous with Lamar and also Derrick Henry going to do. So I'm hoping that we pull through it on the defense side. But offensive wise, I'm a little bit nervous with Russell Wilson and his weapons.
Yo, he's he's definitely been balling, man. And then, and first two, it's Pittsburgh's first division rivalry game. It's almost unheard of to have a team play division teams so late in the season like this. But Pittsburgh. It's gonna be a real smash mouth game, like you said.
So like last time, like with the Eagles losing in a tough battle, I got the Pittsburgh winning. They're gonna win with the W. I think it's gonna be a cover score with the Steelers leaving, but winning. I'm sorry, we're winning by 3,
no,
3.5,
okay.
or 6, and so that's gonna be a tough battle. I'm looking for it. Both defense looked good last week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fight now.
Week. And then my third game that I have is the Chiefs is undefeated right now going into Buffalo. I'm a little bit nervous with the quarterback, Buffalo quarterback,
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. So I'm a little bit nervous. I think they're going to cover the spread. I think they're going to win by 3. It's going to be a tough battle for both teams, and they're going to be with 1 loss. I don't know what their record is. They're going to lose. They're going to be winning against the Chiefs. So I got them winning by 3. Hopefully, they cover the spread.
That's a huge game, bro. A lot of people would just want that to be the Super Bowl just because there's so much back and forth with these two teams. But we'll see what happens. But I mean, that's a big pick there, Ken. Definitely having them go in there and beat them and stuff.
Yeah. So and also like a team that is like undecided right now, like the Jets and the Colts right now. Like I'm thinking about, they both need like a win under their belt. We got 2 quarterbacks that is experienced and veteran quarterback with Joe Flacco and also Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to see what Adam's going to do with the chemistry they got.
I know, bro. It's like this team's like been trying to buy a win, and ever since they fired their coach, man, it's just been a burning dumpster fire, honestly. So I mean, that's a good pick 'em. But go ahead.
So there's so many games that is undecided right now for this week, but
okay,
we want to see what this week going to holds for this week with the 4 teams that I just picked with the upset. So I'm excited to see what happens.
No, that's some good picks right there. Definitely, I know if y'all are watching out there, this guy knows. He's not on the money all the time, but he is on the money. So I definitely would recommend, definitely looking into some of his picks here because Kenny knows how to pick them.
Yes, sir.
But Ken,
yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming on and doing your little take here, being able to drop some picks for us on the show. And it's definitely something I look forward to having more of you on the show and everything, and even having you come on and drop some takes with us and stuff. But I definitely think it's a good intro to have you on the show. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on and dropping your knowledge for us, Kenny.
Thank you for having me, Joe. Wish you the best of luck, and hope the Eagles lose this week.
Thanks, Kenny. Thank you. Thank you. That's the only one I think I might have to go against, Kenny. But we'll see. We'll see. You might be right, Kenny, at the end of the day. So we'll see. But that's why we watch sports.
Yes, sir.
But Kenny, like I said, I appreciate you coming on and everything. And like I said, this isn't going to be the first time. It won't be the last time. All right. So I'll definitely have you on some more. All right.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too, man. Thank you for coming on.